Okay, welcome back to Module 3. In our last video, we left off at this screen of the success installation screen, and there's a little login button there. So if you still have that window open, just go ahead and click that login. If not, you can actually go to the address that's going to be listed below this video, which is your domain name, for example, repurposechattanooga.com/WP-admin. Let me just give you an example. So if I copy and paste that and put it into a new tab, it's going to take me over to a login screen that looks just like this or similar to this. So we'll just go ahead and click login from that window, and we're going to put in the username that we created in the last video, put in the password that you set up, and just hit login or press enter. Okay, so when you first log in, you're going to come to the dashboard, and you'll notice you have a bunch of little menu items over here to the left. You have settings and tools and plugins and all sorts of fun stuff. And the reason why it has all of these options available to you is you're a site admin for this WordPress install. There's different types of users that you can have in WordPress. And the type that you set up during the install is, of course, the admin, and it's the main admin of the site. And that's why you want to keep the login secure, because as an admin, you have the ability to do anything within the WordPress site. You can delete content, create new content, you can change the look and the functionality, you can change settings, you can essentially break the site. So you really don't want people getting into that account and screwing around, for sure. And if you feel like you need to improve your password and you set it up and it wasn't that great, you can always go over to users and click on users. And then you can jump into your account right here, and there I am. You can just hit edit, and you can always change your password within your profile right here. So like, for example, I can go down here and say I want my new password, and I'm going to put in a new password here and then repeat it, and it tells you how strong it's going to be. So if I use certain special characters, for example, like I didn't in the last video, let's just do something like that. Now you use a special character and suddenly it's gone to strong. So something you probably want to do, I'm not too worried about this site because obviously I'm using it for demo purposes only. So let's jump back over to dashboard. So from the dashboard screen, this is a cool little way to just get quick access to things once you learn WordPress and are getting more familiar with it. It's a quick way to get into these different little modules, and you can move these around so that they're where you want them to be. For example, I can move this guy over to the left here. I can move news down because I don't want to read that. I can move something into this space. So it's just a fun little dashboard, lets you get to stuff quickly within your site. And then the next thing I want to show you is the updates option. Now this is super important to keep an eye on. You definitely want to keep your WordPress site updated to the latest version, and you can go in here periodically and check and see when it checked for the latest version, and if you feel like it needs to check again, which it does check automatically, you can just click check again and it will look for a newer version right at that moment. And then when a new version becomes available, you have a little button here that currently says reinstall now, but when there's a new version available, that will become an install button that you can install the new version. Okay, so the next menu option that we're going to look at is posts, and this is where all of the posts that you're going to publish to your site would go. And posts are a little bit different than pages. We'll get into that in the next video, in the next module. So right now I'm just showing you where everything is. So there's all posts, which lists all your posts. There's add new, where it's a quick link to just add a new post. Categories lists all your categories and lets you create new ones. And tags shows you any tags that exist and lets you create new tags. The next menu option is media, and this is where it shows you any media like videos or images you've uploaded to your site. And then if you need to add new ones, you can click add new from here or from the menu over here. So if I want to add a new image, I can upload it this way. The next menu option is pages, and this shows you all the pages that are on your site. And pages are pretty simple. It's just basically a page, like a web page, and they don't have categories assigned to them or tags. And so there's basically a list of all your pages and the option to add new ones. And then next is comments, and this shows you any comments that have been posted to blog posts and to anything else that you are allowing comments on. And you can approve or disapprove a comment. You can change it to unapproved if you don't like it after a while. You can edit the comment. You can also tell the system that it's spam, and it will help reduce any spam comments coming through. which are basically if somebody gets in and becomes a subscriber of your site and they start posting advertisements about strange things, then you can turn those comments into spam and it will stop that person from being able to put any more comments in. But there's other ways to control comments, and I'll show you that later. And then you can, of course, delete a comment. So the next thing that we're going to look at is the first part of your settings of your actual site, because this is all post through comments. This is all your, what I would call your content links that manage your content of the site itself. And then when we get down to appearance, that's when we start looking at the actual settings of the site. So the first thing under appearance is themes. Now, the way WordPress works is it utilizes themes to drive the look and even part of the functionality of the site. So for example, if I go over to the site right now, we're using this 2014, that's the default free theme that comes with it. So if I jump over to my site, you're going to see that theme in action. So you can see it's got this black top line to it, it's got the content over here in the middle, and then we have a left black sidebar. And if you look at the managed themes, that's exactly what they show you you're going to have. And so we can change that to, let's go to this one here. So I hit activate theme, and you can see how themes change your site. So if I just refresh the site, it's now using this theme. So it's a cool way that you can install new themes that can completely change your site with just a click. Next, under appearance is customize, and this is also related to themes. So if I go in here, it shows me a sample of my theme that I've chosen, and these are all little items and options I can do to just quickly customize this theme. So every theme is different. Not every theme is going to have the same options that you can customize. Some are going to have like a rolling title bar that may be different graphics, and you'll have a whole option for that, and so forth. And next under customize is a thing called widgets. And widgets is not necessarily theme driven. So if you remember on the site, we had on the left bar, we had that search bar and some other things. Now it's down here at the bottom. So we have search, categories, recent posts, meta, recent comments, and archives. These are all widgets, and they're controlled right here. So you can change the order of the widget where it's listed. You can drop down a widget, change the title of it. Each widget has a little bit of different things you can tweak. So for recent posts, for example, I can say how many recent posts I want to display. So each one's slightly different. Categories, I can say I want to show post counts, or I want to display as a drop down, or show the hierarchy of the categories if there's a parent and a child category, for example. So there's a lot of different things you can do here and play around with and move the order around, and then the widget area just explains where it's going to appear. So in this particular theme, this is the main widget area. On the last theme that we had, the 2014, the widgets were on the left. And when I go back into widgets after I've activated that theme, you can see it says primary sidebar. So now it's talking about this left sidebar where the widgets are appearing. And of course, this particular theme also has a content sidebar and a footer widget area, which would be down here. So every theme, again, is different. It's going to have different sidebars or widget areas that they're going to define, and that will change in your widget screen based on what theme is activated at the time. The next thing that we're going to talk about is menus. Under menus is where you can actually, here's where you can actually create a new menu that will list pages or posts or different types of content on your page. So if I want to have, for example, right now I have a default menu, it just shows sample page up here. But if I wanted to have a menu that maybe was a drop down, when I hover over it gives me some more options, or maybe there's more links going across the top here, even external links, links to other websites, not just internal, then I can create a menu and design it and put in whatever links or pages, create my custom links. And header is where we actually choose header text, or for example, right now it's showing the title, the site title that we created in the last video, but I can also choose an image to be my header instead of the site title. And so this is where you can control that and change the color of the text if you want, or upload the image, etc. And then we have an option called background. Now this option is not always here. This is one of those theme specific options. So under appearance, you may see options come and go depending on what theme you have installed, and but that's not always available for every single one. And then there's an option called Editor under Appearance, and this is where you can actually edit the content of the theme PHP files and CSS files themselves. So for example, it opens up to the style sheet, style.css, managed by that 2014 theme. So I can actually go in and change font sizes or colors or things and really just customize down to the detail my theme. But of course, this is a beginner's guide to WordPress. We're not going to be getting into the editor and doing any kind of crazy HTML or PHP programming in this course.